Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Nurina binti Baharuddin. So in this video, I will be sharing with you guys about my family history regarding to my assignments subject, which is social stratification. I have interviewed my grandmother about her life, such as how she handles her hard times, when did she married, and many more. So before I jump into my explanation, let me tell you guys a little bit about my grandmother's background. So her name is Kelsom binti Omar, and now she's 76 years old. She was born in 1945. So basically, my grandmother did not go to school when she was young, but she got a chance. She gotten a chance to go to school after she gave birth to her children. Um, Actually, the school's name is Sekolah Dewasa, and I don't think that school have a specific name in English, but that was my grandmother told me. And so basically sekolah dewasa is actually for old people, or for those who haven't got a chance to go to school when they were young. And surprisingly, my grandmother married at the age of 12 years old and gave birth to my mom at the age of 25 years old. And so overall, that's a little bit about my grandmother's background. So without further ado, let's jump to the concept that I have applied during my interview with my grandmother. So the first concept is occupational mobility. So basically, occupational mobility is move from one job to another job. So my grandmother started working after she gave birth to her children. She followed her husband, which my grandfather worked as rubber taper. They did not own their orchards, but they just work for people. After that, my grandmother work. My grandmother selling clothes from house to house. Work. She will start working from morning until evening, and her last job was she's a businesswoman, like she opened a shop and selling essential things like sugar, cooking oil, flour, and so many things. Okay, and next concept was social class. So my grandmother told me that she actually fully comes from lower class family because their parents were not from a wealthy family and did not leave any assets to her. Moreover, after she married, she categorized herself as lower class because her husband, which my grandfather, also not a rich people too. For example, she said every morning they just eat a plain pancake. Compared to us nowadays, every morning we will eat nasi lemak, nasi minyak, and so many things. And however, she said this part was really touched my heart, which she said the comforter was actually made from the closest sacks. Like totally is not very comfortable, but yeah, she said she would do anything to give um their children feel comfortable when they sleep. So yeah, she works really hard to give a comfortable place for her children. And apart from this, I also chose power concepts in my question during in my question, because as we all know, the people who live in the ancient times, they usually have a power which they can cure people with their ability. So my grandma told me that my grandfather has a special talent in traditional treatment, which the villagers will come to the house and ask my grandfather to cure them. However, my grandfather also can help people in looking something lost. For example, his friend lost his motorcycle, and then my grandfather told him that, convinced him, like, tomorrow the stealer will come and give your motorcycle. So on the next day, it happens, like for real. I got goosebumps during the when I talked to my grandmother. And next is income. My grandmother told me when she works as rubber taper, she earns about 200 until 300 ringgit per month. So, and she actually said, actually 200 ringgit is a big amount where they can buy so many things. Like compared to us nowadays, for basic salary for each job is around about 1,000 ringgit, but still, they still say that it's still cheap. But yeah, no wonder we live in the modern life, in the modern life, and we living so many things with technologies. So last but not least, last but not least is life chances. So I asked my grandmother, is it enough the money that she works to support their family, and she said yes, because plus she can see the difference between before and after she work. Like for example, before work they live in the dark, where they could not afford to buy a lamp. But after work, they can live in the light, which mean they can buy a lamp, and even the fan also. So in conclusion, I have asked 5 concepts during interview with my grandmother, which is occupational mobility, social class, power, income, and life chances. So I think that's all about my sharing my sharing regarding to my family story. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.